Hello again, and welcome to the Unforgettable Leader Workshop Series, where we've been discussing the topic of health and wellness for the high performing professional and business owners. Today's topic is the 5 daily habits of high performing leaders who prioritize their well being. So, if you've ever felt like you're constantly running on fumes, battling stress, or struggling to maintain your health while leading at a high level, stay with us for these next 20 minutes, and I'm going to break down these essential habits to help you perform at your absolute best. Those of you who are joining for the second time and we're here for the burnout versus chronic fatigue conversation, welcome back. Those who are new, welcome to the Unforgettable Leader. We're jumping into this series again to ensure the health and well being of you high performers, you high performing professionals, and you business owners living with a chronic health condition. I am Sarah Sims, and for the past 10 years, I've lived with an autoimmune disease and have taken my learned lessons, managing my own condition, my education, and then combining it with my career as an executive to empower those who are living with limitations, design their own blueprint to thrive and prosper in life and in their career. So today, we're diving again into these 5 daily habits. Why is it important that we focus on habits for leaders to energize and focus and perform at their peak? Well, here's why it's important. We've all heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, but in leadership, it's easy to push through exhaustion, ignore the signs of burnout, and just rely on caffeine, willpower, and adrenaline. But research is showing that high performing leaders who prioritize wellness better make better decisions, lead more effectively, and sustain success without crashing. And so the good news for you, if it's not about adding more to your plate, it's about adding smarter habits. And that's what we're going to focus on today. That first habit that I think just sets the tone for all the rest is your morning mastery. So for your morning, it sets the tone and foundation for how you really are approaching the rest of your day. The most successful leaders don't start off mornings in chaos. They have a structured routine that sets that tone. So the very first thing we're going to recommend that you is start the day with 5 to 10 minutes of deep breathing. Now, I would recommend the type of deep breathing to do is just huge inhales and exhales just to get started. Simple inhale, and as you inhale, expand from your belly and from your diaphragm, and then exhale deeply all the way until you have no more air left in your lungs, and just kind of suck in as much oxygen as you can for at least 20 to 25 breaths. That could come somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes, but just really taking the time to sit down and do those deep breathing exercises. When you deep breathe, there are 3 benefits that I'm going to share with you here. First is you're going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system manages that kind of fight or flight, that shut down part of our nervous system that communicates for what it wants our body to do, the actions with our limbs. So it's going to nurture and calm and nurse this part of our nervous system. It's going to lower our cortisol levels, and it's going to help you start the day with a sense of calm and a focused state instead of stress mode. What do I got to do? What do I got to get done? Next is boost your oxygen flow to the brain. All that oxygen coming in enhances focus and mental sharpness. And remember, more oxygen equals better brain function, better, quicker decision making, and just overall improved concentration. This will help you as a leader think clearly, process all that information coming at you all day long faster, and do it with a sharp mind. Next, the third one is it regulates your energy and improves physical stamina. Deep breathing improves blood circulation and increasing oxygen in your bloodstream, which boosts natural energy without that cup of joe, that cup of caffeine in the morning. It also supports better lung function, posture, muscle relaxation, and makes it easier to maintain energy throughout the day. So, before you've even started with all that comes at you, you are leveled, your parasympathetic nervous system has been nurtured. Next, we have strategic refueling. So, nutrition that's going to power performance. What you eat either fuels you or drains your performance. That's it. There is no in between. There is no eating for satisfaction. If you're eating for satisfaction, it's either going to fuel you and give you the energy that's necessary to get through your day, the vitamins and the supplements necessary to keep your brain sharp, to keep your muscles relaxed, to help your muscles absorb your nutrients, to help your body and your blood absorb all the nutrients. You need a very high nutrient dense diet. You want to be eating protein, healthy fats, and fiber at every meal. Your plate should be representative of those three macronutrients to avoid any energy crashes. You also want to be hydrating intentionally. So, combined with your morning mastery routine, you want to make sure that before you leave your room, you have had 16 ounces of water. So, what I like to do is wake up, brush my teeth, and then I go right to my glass of water by my bedside and I drink it all at once. I don't take breaks. I just check it all down at once. And this really helps activate my digestive system in a very slow but intentional way. We're going to reduce our caffeine reliance. We're going to switch from coffee crashes to longer energy sources. There's nothing wrong with natural forms of caffeine. We just don't want to be relying upon it. So when you're approaching your cup of coffee, if you need it to help wake you up, let's try the hydration, the deep breathing, and then fueling ourselves with nutrient dense foods throughout the day. So your action step here is for the next 3 days, try to swap out one processed meal or snack for a whole food option. So you can start noticing the difference with your energy and focus. Number 3, the power of recovery breaks. Success doesn't come from grinding harder. It comes from recovering smarter. Power habits here we have to have. Use the 90-20 rule. Work in 90-minute focus blocks and then take a 20-minute break. If this is too much for you, which is understandable, how you can begin to tell if working 90 minutes straight without a break is too much for you, you'll start to find it difficult to focus on your work. You might be switching in between screens. You might start looking at social media. This is actually your brain communicating to you that its attention is starting to wane and it needs to take a break. Some start to hit that kind of peak point anywhere between 40 and 45 minutes. So if you need to break that up where you take a 45-minute break and then a 45-minute focus work block and then a 10-minute break, you can also do that. But for some of us, we can't always break our hour that way. So at a minimum, the 90-20 rule, 90-minute focus block of work and 20-minute break. You also want to schedule some white space in your calendar, time with no meetings, no calls, and no interruptions. You do not have to feel the pressure of having that white space time booked with something else for your body to be doing. Just allow that to be your free time for you to focus or unfocus on whatever you want. Stand up and move every hour to boost your circulation and mental clarity. After about 44, I think research shows, after about 40 minutes of sitting still or even sitting at a desk and having very little movement, your creativity in your brain starts to reduce. I think anywhere between like 25 and 30%. I'm going to share the link to where that research study is, but sitting sedentary actually impacts your ability to perform. So recovery also happens in movement. It's not simply just resting. All this works because neuroscience has shown that the most effective leaders aren't the ones who work the longest. They're the ones who manage their energy strategically. So taking these small recovery breaks will prevent your burnout and boost your creativity. So your action step here for this habit is to block one break into your calendar tomorrow and protect it like a meeting, and let me know how it changes your energy. Number 4, boundaries for sustainable success. High performing leaders don't just manage time, they protect their energy. So, here are some power habits for you to establish those boundaries. Say no to low impact tasks, delegate, automate, eliminate. This is an approach that you need to have with most of the tasks in your life. If all the tasks have already kind of been assessed through this lens of delegate, automate, and eliminate, and it still is on your list, then it needs your attention. But every task before you act on it should go through this kind of 3-step phase. Can you delegate it? Can you automate it? Or can you just altogether eliminate it? Next, set a defined shutdown time to prevent work from bleeding into personal life. Work is restorative. I said this during the first burnout and chronic fatigue video, and I will say it again. Work can be restorative. There are some of us when we are having health challenges, escaping. Now I want to say escaping to work, but being actively engaged in work helps us focus less on our health challenges, and it gives us a sense of alignment and purpose. But we don't want to get lost in that being the only source of fulfillment for us. So we want to learn how to shut down the work. The work will be there after we've decided to take a step back. It'll be there the next day. It'll be there a few hours later. Don't worry, your personal life is waiting on you. Next, use the 5-5-5 rule. At the end of the day, ask, what are the 5 most important things I did today? What are the 5 top priorities for tomorrow? And what are 5 things I'm grateful for? 5-5-5. These 5 areas that you're going to assess at the end of your day help you in how you start your next day. So you're referring to this list at the next day, but you're developing it today. So you're actually doing your future self a favor. Why it's going to work for you is because leaders who lack boundaries experience decision fatigue and lower creativity, and that's what your work is all about. If you're a business owner, your business thrives off of your ability to be creative and make prompt, quick decisions. So tonight, you're going to try the 5-5-5 reflection exercise. That is your action step, and notice how it helps to disconnect you from work and gain clarity for the next day. And number 5, sleep like a CEO. Elite leaders sleep as a performance tool, not an afterthought. You know, when I name this sleep like a CEO, but sleep like an athlete, because I've been told that athletes typically sleep anywhere from 7 to 9 hours. That seems so uncommon for me, and sometimes sleep is challenging because we have habits throughout the day that prevent us from being able to fully shut down and transition into rest. So here are a couple of power habits that will help you have more productive sleep. Create a no screen zone 60 minutes before bed. So like many, if a great Netflix series or a series comes on and I've been working or I'm busy all day with life and family, the evening is my time. And so my time, I would turn on a Netflix or a movie every once in a while, but sometimes I would let it put me to bed. We want to make sure we're not doing that. So at least 60 minutes before bed, turn the television off and find something else to be doing with your attention. It could be getting ready for your next day. It could be reading a book, but no screens during this time. The next is lower nighttime stress levels. Again, when you're shutting down, you could use your 60 minutes time for this. But if TV isn't your thing, instead of maybe scrolling on your phone or on your tablet, try short reading, journaling, or even some yoga or light stretching. Next, set a consistent bedtime and wake up time. And yes, even on weekends. Your body having this clock to know when it's going to be put to rest and when it's going to be asked to awaken helps it immediately go into rest and allows you to have sufficient amount of quality sleep. Okay? It's going to work for you because Leaders who prioritize sleep perform 20 to 30% better in their emotional intelligence and their creativity. When they are sleep deprived, they can start to appear to be lazy and disoriented at work, and that's not the image we want to leave for you. So your action step today is for tonight: turn off screens 1 hour before bed and set how your sleep improves. Okay, so those are our 5 daily habits for high performing leaders who are prioritizing their well-being. When you start small, which hopefully the recommendations I gave to you today gives you an opportunity to just do a little bit at a time. You can start small with these 5 habits, and I believe you'll begin to feel a shift in your energy and focus and even your leadership presence. If you're ready to take the next step in optimizing your leadership health, remember I have a free self-care assessment that you can find at sarahsims.co. This simple tool will help you identify the exact areas where you need to focus on to maintain your energy and performance. Be sure to reach out and share with the group how implementing these 5 habits this week has helped boost your overall well-being and performance. Thanks so much for being here with us today, and I can't wait to see you at the next workshop in the Unforgettable Leader Workshop Series.